Hey folks, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO, and I hope you are having a fantastic day. I tell you, it has been one of those crazy days, and that's why I decided to do what I'm doing today. What if you ran your life like Disney? What if Disney ran your life? Think about this for a minute. How would your life be different? What brought this up was as I was going into my day today, nothing went as planned. I mean, bathroom shower faucet broke in the master bedroom. Hot water heater thermostat went out. I mean, it's just boom, 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 boom. Plus, I'm still working on the pool filter at the Destin house. So I really got to looking at this and I thought, man, what would the crew at Disney actually be doing? And how would they have planned for these contingencies? Because so many times we don't. And I'm gonna get into that, but I want to do a shout out to our two sponsors today. Ryan Chamberlain, running for councilman in the state of Florida. Ryan, and this is why this is important on the show. Ryan is a full-time, very successful network marketer. He's been in direct sales all of his adult life. Only two companies, top income earner in both of those companies. He is now running for congressman. We need men and women like Ryan in Washington. You can go to ryanchamberlain.com, find out all about it. Also want to do a shout out to Tiffany Marie Davis and Michelle Schaefer. They have founded Girl Power Alliance, GPA. These gals are rocking it out. You can go to Girl Power Alliance. You can look it up on Facebook. Truly passionate networkers, all in themselves. So I just had to do a shout out. I mean, I'm telling you what, we are seeing so much great stuff going on. But let's get back to the topic at hand. How do you run your life like Disney? What is so important about Disney? What makes Disney stand out? Disney is where magic happens. Now think about that phrase for a minute. Disney is where magic happens. How many times in your life you're looking for something magical, especially when you're in the middle of a COVID-19 virus, you're in a great American shutdown, whatever you want to call it. You can be all over the world. I just got off of a WhatsApp with a great leader in Spain, and they're doing the same thing I was on earlier in Brazil. What do you do? How do you do it? What makes Disney different? Now, whether you're a businessman, whether you're running a company, whether you run a large independent organization, you can run a church, you can just be a networker in the field, doesn't matter. I want you to think about what I'm about to say, because this is what sets Disney apart more than anything else. Disney doesn't want to be the category creator. Disney doesn't want to be the category leader. Disney's level of excellence, their internal makeup, if you ever get to go to the Disney Institute, you'll see this. Their philosophy, what really drives the cast members, what drives the corporate offices, what drives the shareholder value, what drove Walt Disney is, instead of being a category creator, instead of being the category leader, they see themselves, rightfully so, as the category. Now think about that for a minute. If you ran your life this way, if you ran your life in a way that says, I am the category, whether that's being the bar none best, excellent business person you can be, whether it's being the best mom, the best dad, whether it's being the best son, daughter, brother, sister. Think about this. If your standard of excellence was at the level where you're saying, I am the category, how much magic could you create in your life? How much margin would you have? See, and able to do that, you have to major in everything, meaning that everything is important. This old adage that we live by, and if some of you guys have followed me, you know this is driven into my soul. It's branded here. Everything matters. There's no such thing as don't major in minor issues. If you go to Disney, they major in the minor issues. If you go to Epcot, let me use this as an example. You go to Epcot and you go from Italy to China. You literally walk from one country into another, and there's no mixing of the musics. There's no mixing of the culture. You don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden you go from Italian music to Chinese music. It's amazing. You can go from Canada to Brazil, and it's just it's a perfect, because everything is taken care of. A few years ago, we were literally at Epcot. For you guys that don't know, we're season pass holders. We live in the state of Florida. When there's not a shutdown, we'll go anywhere from 6 to 12 times. I mean, I love it. I grow there. It is my magical place. It's a place for me to regroup. I think everybody that goes there is that way. But I watched a few years ago at Epcot, because Epcot's the only place where they have alcohol. A lady was a little bit too much drinking. It was hot out. She tripped over her own 2 feet. She dropped her mug. It was one of the beer fests. Shatters on the ground. And literally what seemed like a metamorphosis out of the ground, here's all these cast members, and they literally helped her, swept it up. It was gone in a blink of an eye like that. Everything matters. And when you think about that, look at how busy people are, and yet Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, what the heck? They literally have been cranking it out for our life, 75, 80 years, and they're still going like they were 35 years old. And that takes a focus so detailed, and we don't do this in our lives. So when we're looking at how can we live a life like a brand like Disney, because it's not just about the brand, it's literally about the culture that they've created. If you look at your business, I just had a beautiful young lady text me, and she said, Troy, I was looking at a company, and I'm with a company, and they're just for the younger generation. I love their products, but I don't think I'm ever going to be able to grow there. And I thought, oh my gosh, the companies have missed it. Here's somebody that loves their products. Here's somebody that really wants to drive it home. But when she looks at the culture, she feels like the culture is just for one age group. I've seen network marketing companies where people said the demographic is just for one ethnic group. No. If you want to build something, if you want your life, you've got to build it in such a way that everyone feels welcome. And in your business, it's easier. In your life, you've got to be able to do this. In the lockdown, we're starting to see where this is really taking place, is because men and women are starting to try to find the magic again in their relationships. Men and women are walking up and down the streets and meeting their neighbors for the first time. All of a sudden, we literally are getting that same magical moment that you get when you go to a Disney theme park. And it's so beautiful when you think about it, because Disney thinks of everything. They have a risk mitigation plan in place. They have a wonderful PR plan in place. When I went, I remember 3 years ago, before all the craziness has taken place that we're in today, but it was after 9/11. And I had I think a Skull and Crossbones Affliction t-shirt on. I had my wallet with my chain, and I've got all these beautiful little girls around me that are just getting ready to have a blast. And as we're walking through, we got to go through 2 different lines, because I've got the stroller and the girls all have their bags. And I thought I could go around the metal detector, because it said strollers go this way. And this guy comes up, just a beautiful security guard. The girls are all there, and he says, hey, we've got something special that we want your dad to do today. He is our special guest, and we're going to bring him through the special entrance right over here. And literally, they led me through the metal detector. I had to take everything out of my pockets. But they did it in such a way that the girls got excited. Hey, I even felt kind of special there for a second until I realized, hey, they're playing a bait and switch on me. But it was great. This is what happens. They have focused in on every little detail. If you go into any of the theme park areas, it's kind of cool how they do this, because when you see the parades going down the road, here's the parade and the music and everything, but the speakers are lined up with the soundtrack. So as every piece of that parade passes by where you're standing, literally the right music plays, the ambiance is there. It's down to the detail. If you want to really lead right, lead your family, lead your team, lead your business, whether you're a corporate leader all the way down to a brand new rep getting into the sales profession, maybe you're launching a brick and mortar business, I don't care what it is. If you were major in everything, if you will focus on the fact everything is important, you will create magic in your life. It's just the way it is. A little bit of something as I close out today, because I don't want to keep everybody. I've got chores to do for Mama. But I want you to think about this. Last Friday, the Federal Trade Commission, now they've been doing this every Friday for at least 4 weeks because I get all the updates. But every Friday they put out press releases of letters that they send out to companies who have not been majoring in everything. And this last week they sent 10 letters out to 10 great companies in the direct sales space. And when I looked at those, and these are companies that, I mean, they are stellar. They've got great compliance teams. They've got great inside accountability. They've got everything. But yet, it only takes a little bit for the eye to get off the ball. Everybody's in a shutdown. Everybody's in this crazy mode. What if everyone in all the companies took to heart everything matters? If you look at some of the comments on some of the posts we've put up on this, you see where people make excuses for making healthcare claims, making income claims. Disney never makes an excuse. A few years ago, when a young child was pulled off of the beaches into the water by an alligator and drowned, Disney didn't blame the parents for being out at night and not watching their child. Disney literally, as much as could possibly be done, made magic for this family and for the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, that come every year to visit them. And they found what the problem was. They fixed the problem. They helped the parents as best anybody can help a parent whose child has been killed. And it's because they already had the plan in place. You have to have a plan in place. You have to have a plan in place for the next pandemic, for the next shutdown. You've got to have a plan in place. Man, try saying plan in place 3 times. You've got to have a plan in place as we go into the great new relaunch of America, of the economy. No matter what you're doing, you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for every little situation at home, just like today. I'm in the middle of getting ready to focus in on a client. We're onboarding a client in the esports arena. We're working through some stuff. And out of the blue, I had to shift gears and go take care of the shower. Now I'm going to go fix the shower, and then I'm going to go back to work. That's what we have to do. So give it some thought. Think about it today, guys. If you could live your life like Disney, if Disney was running your life, what would you change to be better? That's the key. Hey, remember this: act justly, walk humbly, love mercy, and above all else, remember, love always wins. We'll see you tomorrow.